Members of the board, today I will present a strategic growth analysis of ExxonMobil and provide recommendations designed to strengthen the organization's competitive position over the next 3 years. ExxonMobil is one of the world's largest integrated energy companies, operating across upstream, downstream, chemical, and lower carbon business segments while serving customers around the globe. The purpose of this presentation is to evaluate the company's current strategic position using multiple management tools and business analysis completed throughout this course. Specifically, I will summarize findings from the SWOT analysis, human capital, and HR gap assessment, financial statement and audit review, corporate social responsibility and ESG analysis, and marketing pest analysis. Based on these findings, I will present strategic recommendations intended to improve long-term profitability, sustainability, workforce development, and shareholder value while positioning ExxonMobil for continued success in a rapidly evolving energy industry. Building upon the organizational overview presented previously, the SWOT analysis identifies ExxonMobil's primary internal strengths and weaknesses, along with the external opportunities and threats affecting future strategic success. This slide summarizes the key findings from the SWOT analysis conducted on ExxonMobil. The company maintains significant strengths, including a global recognized brand, integrated operations, and strong financial performance. ExxonMobil generated approximately $339 billion in revenue and nearly $34 billion in net income during 2024, demonstrating substantial financial strength and operation capability. However, the company continues to face challenges associated with dependence on fossil fuel markets and increased environmental scrutiny. Opportunities include growth in carbon capture, hydrogen technologies, and emerging global energy markets where energy demand continues to increase. Threats include changing regulations, geopolitical instability, and increasing competition from renewable energy providers. Understanding these internal and external factors provide leadership with a foundation for developing strategic initiatives that support sustainable growth and long-term competitiveness. ExxonMobil faces several strategic challenges that will help shape its future direction. The global energy transition continues to create pressure for organizations to balance profitability with environmental responsibility. In addition, regulatory requirements, evolving stakeholder expectations, and market volatility require ongoing strategic adaptations. Despite these challenges, significant opportunities exist through digital transformation, carbon capture technologies, AI, and expansion into emerging markets where energy demand remains strong. Based on this analysis, ExxonMobil's vision should continue emphasizing operational excellence while placing greater focus on sustainability, innovation, workforce development, and long-term stakeholder value. Based on the SWOT findings, these primary strategic recommendations are proposed. First, ExxonMobil should continue expanding investments in lower carbon energy solutions, including carbon capture and hydrogen technologies. Second, the company should accelerate digital transformation initiatives that leverage AI, automation, and advanced analytics to improve operational efficiency. Third, ExxonMobil should strengthen strategic partnerships and pursue expansion opportunities in emerging markets where long-term energy demand is expected to grow. These recommendations are strategic rather than operational because they influence the overall direction of the organization and require significant leadership commitment and resource allocation. Successfully implementing these initiatives can diversify future revenue streams, strengthen competitive advantage, improve stakeholders' confidence, and position ExxonMobil for long-term growth during a period of substantial industrial transformation. The following section examines whether ExxonMobil possesses the workforce capabilities necessary to execute a long-term strategy. Human capital remains one of ExxonMobil's most valuable strategic assets. The company's SEC Form 10-K highlights investments in employee development, leadership programs, workplace safety, compensation, and workplace engagement initiatives designed to attract and retain talent. These efforts represent significant strengths and contribute to operational performance across the organization. However, ExxonMobil also faces challenges related to workforce succession, knowledge transfer, and increased competition for highly skilled technical employees, according to the World Economic Forum. Employers are experiencing increasing demand for artificial intelligence, analytical thinking, leadership, and adaptable skills. These trends indicate that workforce development will become increasingly important as the energy industry evolves. The Future of Jobs report identifies several competencies that are expected to become increasingly important over the next decade. These include AI, data analytics, technology literacy, leadership, communication, and adaptability. ExxonMobil's future workforce will require a combination of technical expertise and soft skills to successfully navigate changing industrial conditions. Technical capabilities such as carbon capture technologies, digital systems, automation, and advanced analytics will become critical to maintaining operational efficiency and innovation. At the same time, communication, collaboration, problem solving, and leadership skills will remain essential for effective decision making and organizational success. The skills pyramid presented on the slide illustrates how fundamentally interpersonal skills support technical expertise and ultimately contribute to strategic leadership capabilities. Investing in these areas today will help ExxonMobil address future talent gaps while supporting long-term organizational growth and sustainability. To address future workforce challenges, ExxonMobil should implement several strategic HR initiatives focused on successful succession planning, knowledge transfer, professional development, and talent acquisition. Succession planning is particularly important because an aging workforce creates the potential for the loss of institutional knowledge and leadership expertise. Formal mentoring programs and cross-functioning training opportunities can help transfer critical knowledge to future leaders and technical specialists. Professional development initiatives should emphasize artificial intelligence, data analytics, sustainable technologies, and leadership competencies that align with future workforce needs. Additionally, ExxonMobil should strengthen university partnerships and targeted recruiting efforts to attract emerging talent. These initiatives represent a long-term investment in workforce sustainability and organizational performance. Financial strength ultimately determines the organization's ability to execute strategic initiatives. ExxonMobil demonstrated strong financial performance during 2024, reflecting the company's ability to generate substantial revenue and profitability despite ongoing market volatility. The company reported approximately $339.2 billion in revenue and $33.7 billion in net income, while maintaining strong operating cash flows and adequate liquidity. Earlier ratio analysis showed a current ratio of approximately 1.31, indicating the company's ability to meet short-term obligations while continuing to invest in future growth opportunities. ExxonMobil's integrated business model contributes to financial stability by providing diversification across upstream, downstream, and chemical operations. Strong financial performance allows the company to fund strategic investments, return value to shareholders, and maintain flexibility during changing market conditions. Although ExxonMobil maintains a strong financial position, several challenges require continued leadership attention. Commodity pricing volatility remains one of the most significant risks because fluctuations in energy prices can directly affect revenue and profitability. In addition, the company operates in a capital intensity industry that requires substantial investment in infrastructure, technology, and exploration activities. At the same time, opportunities exist throughout operational efficiency improvements, digital transformation initiatives, and investment in lower carbon technologies. The capital allocation framework presented on this slide demonstrates how ExxonMobil can balance investments between traditional energy operations, lower carbon initiatives, digital transformation projects, and shareholder returns. ExxonMobil's most recent audit resulted in an unqualified opinion indicating that their company's financial statements are fairly presented in accordance with the U.S. generally accepted accounting principles and that no material weaknesses were identified in internal controls. This outcome provides assurance to investors, regulators, lenders, and other stakeholders regarding the reliability of the company's financial reporting processes. To build upon these positive findings, ExxonMobil should continue emphasizing disciplined capital allocation, operational efficiency, and transparent financial reporting. The company should also leverage digital technologies to improve forecasting, cost management, and decision-making processes. Maintaining strong internal controls and governance practices will help preserve stakeholder trust and support future investment opportunities. Strategic leadership should view strong financial governance as a competitive advantage because it strengthens confidence among shareholders and supports long-term organizational stability. Corporate sustainability increasing influences investor confidence and organizational reputation. The people component of corporate social responsibility focuses on how ExxonMobil impacts employees, customers, communities, and other stakeholders. The company continues to invest in employee safety, workforce development, compensation programs, and community engagement initiatives designed to support employee well-being and stakeholder relationships. ExxonMobil's commitment to workplace safety is particularly significant because employee well-being directly affects productivity, retention, and organizational performance. Community investments and education initiatives further strengthen relationships with local stakeholders, and support broader social responsibility goals. Despite these strengths, opportunities remain to expand diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts while enhancing stakeholder engagement practices. Strategic leaders should recognize that strong people-focused initiatives contribute to workforce stability, organizational reputation, and stakeholder trust. These outcomes support long-term business performance and align with the broader objectives in corporate social responsibility. The profit and planet dimensions of corporate social responsibility highlight ExxonMobil's effort to balance financial performance with environment responsibility from a profit perspective. ExxonMobil continues to generate significant shareholder value through strong operational performance, disciplined capital allocation, and effective governance practices. From a planet perspective, the company has increased investments in carbon capture and storage technologies, emission reduction initiatives, and low carbon energy solutions designed to support long-term sustainability projects. Based on the CSR and ESG analysis, ExxonMobil should continue strengthening its sustainability strategy while improving transparency and stakeholder communication. One recommendation is to expand investments in carbon capture and storage technologies, which represent a significant opportunity by reducing emissions while supporting future growth. While leadership should care, strong ESG performance supports long-term shareholder value and organizational legitimacy. Past analysis highlights several external factors that influence ExxonMobil's marketing strategy and overall business performance. Politically, environmentally, regulations, trade policies, and geopolitical instability continue to affect global energy markets. Economically, inflation, commodity price inflections, and changing energy demand patterns influence both profitability and investment decisions. ExxonMobil's marketing strategy faces both challenges and opportunities as the energy industry evolves. One challenge involves public perception regarding fossil fuels and environmental sustainability. Increasing regulatory pressure and stakeholder expectations require organizations to communicate their sustainability initiatives effectively while maintaining credibility. At the same time, substantial opportunities exist through expanding energy demand in emerging markets, carbon capture technologies, hydrogen development, and digital engagement initiatives. ExxonMobil should pursue a customer-centered market strategy that leverages technology, sustainability messaging, and stakeholder engagement and strengthen market position and brand value. Artificial intelligence and advanced analytics can help the company better understand customer needs, identify market trends, and improve strategic marketing. In closing, ExxonMobil remains well positioned to achieve long-term success because its strong financial foundation, global operations, and commitment to innovative. Throughout this presentation, I have identified several strategic priorities that can strengthen the company's competitive advantages over the next 3 years. These priorities include maintaining financial discipline, workforce development, sustainable growth, innovation leadership, and long-term shareholder value. In conclusion, ExxonMobil possesses substantial strengths, including strong financial performance, global operations, technical expertise, and highly recognizable brand. However, the company must continue adapting to changing industry conditions, challenges, and stakeholder expectations. The recommendations presented throughout this analysis focus on workforce development, digital transformation, lower carbon energy investments, and sustainable growth initiatives together.